Do you ever feel like you're stuck in your English learning journey? You study grammar rules, you memorize vocabulary lists, maybe you even watch movies, but you don't feel like you're getting any closer to real fluency. It can be incredibly frustrating. Many of us believe that the only way to improve is to study harder, to spend more hours with our textbooks. But what if I told you that the secret to fluency isn't about studying harder? It's about studying smarter, with small, consistent actions. Today, we are going to forget the idea of studying for hours. Instead, I am going to give you 5 simple, powerful daily habits that you can do in just a few minutes each day. These are not big, difficult tasks. They are small, easy actions that, when done consistently, will build a powerful momentum and transform your English fluency over time. This is a system for people who are busy but are serious about getting results. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the English Zen Podcast. My name is Liam. Our goal today is to build a practical routine that fits into your real life. The power of a habit is that it doesn't rely on motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but a habit is something you do automatically. It's the difference between waiting to feel inspired and just starting. So let's build that automatic system together. Are you ready for the first habit? Okay, habit number 1 is the foundation upon which all other progress is built. I call it the focused 10-minute input. This is the most important 10 minutes of your day for learning English. Forget multitasking, forget listening to a podcast while you're at the gym or cooking dinner. While that is also good, this is different. This is a focused, mindful practice. Every day, I want you to find just 10 minutes where you can sit down and do nothing but listen to English. You can choose a short podcast, a TED Talk, a news report for learners, or even a scene from a TV show you like. The most important rule is that the content must be interesting to you. For these 10 minutes, you are not allowed to do anything else. Just sit, wear your headphones, and listen intently. Why is this so powerful? Because you are actively training your brain to get comfortable with the sounds, the rhythm, and the melody of the English language. You are telling your brain, this is important. Pay attention. This focused practice is 10 times more effective than 1 hour of passive, distracted listening. But there is one more part to this habit that makes it truly effective. After your 10 minutes are up, you have one small task. Write down, or say out loud, one single sentence that summarizes the main idea of what you just heard. It doesn't need to be perfect. The goal is to force your brain to process the information, not just hear it. For example, if you listen to a clip about space, your sentence might be, "The speaker talked about the challenges of sending humans to Mars." This simple act turns a passive exercise into an active one. Smooth transition, this daily input habit feeds your brain the raw material of the language. But how do you take that knowledge you absorbed and turn it into an active, productive skill? That brings us to habit number 2, which is all about speaking. Which is designed to take the knowledge you absorb and turn it into an active, productive skill. This habit is all about speaking. Now, I know what many of you are thinking. Speaking is the hardest part. I'm afraid of making mistakes. The biggest fear for most learners is speaking in front of other people. This habit removes that fear completely because your first conversation partner will be yourself. I call this habit the 5-minute narration. For just 5 minutes every day, your task is to narrate your life out loud in English. Just describe what you were doing, what you were seeing, or what you were thinking as if you were the narrator of your own movie. It might feel a little strange at first, but it is one of the most powerful techniques for building fluency. For example, when you're making your morning coffee, you can say, "Okay, I am opening the cupboard now. I am going to get my favorite blue cup. I need to add some coffee and a little bit of sugar. Or you can look out the window and say, the weather looks nice today. The sky is very clear. There are a few people walking their dogs. Why does this work so well? First, it trains your brain to form English sentences automatically, without translating from your native language. It builds the direct connection between your thoughts and English speech. Second, it shows you exactly where the gaps are in your vocabulary. So, habit 1 gives you new words, and habit 2 trains you to use the words you already know. But how do you make sure you never forget all the new vocabulary you're learning? That's where our powerful third habit comes in. That brings us to habit number 3, which is designed to solve one of the most frustrating problems in language learning. Have you ever learned an exciting new word on a Monday, but only to completely forget it by Wednesday? This is the leaky bucket problem. You pour new knowledge in, but it leaks out just as fast. Our third habit plugs that leak. I call this habit the 5-minute memory workout. The goal is to move new vocabulary from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. And the tool for this is a flashcard system. You can use a digital app that uses spaced repetition like Anki, or you can use simple paper flashcards. For just 5 minutes every day, your task is to do 2 things. First, quickly review your existing flashcards. The app will show you the words you are about to forget. Second, and this is the most important part, you will create 1 to 3 new flashcards. Where do these new words come from? They come from habits 1 and 2. That new word you heard in your focused input session, that's a flashcard. That word you got stuck on during your 5-minute narration, that's a flashcard. This habit connects everything. This method is so powerful because it's based on science. The process of almost forgetting and then actively recalling a word is what signals to your brain that this information is important and should be stored permanently. You are no longer passively reading a list, you are actively testing your brain. This is the difference between temporary and permanent knowledge. So, we have a habit for listening, speaking, remembering, and reading. We have covered input and comprehension. But what about creative output? This brings us to our final and 5th habit, which introduces a new way to think about reading. That brings us to habit number 4, which focuses on the skill that builds the largest vocabulary and the deepest understanding of grammar over time: reading. Now, the biggest mistake most learners make with reading is choosing a book or a news article that is too difficult. They have to stop every 10 seconds to look up a word in the dictionary, they get frustrated, and they quit. This habit is designed to solve that problem forever. I call it the 5-minute smart reading. Instead of reading a difficult novel, I want you to use a resource designed for learners, like the website News in Levels. This site takes real current news articles and rewrites them for 3 different levels of English. For 5 minutes a day, your task is to read one article. Start at the level you think is right for you. For example, level 2. If level 2 is too difficult, don't quit. Simply go down to level 1. Read the level 1 article to understand the main ideas and vocabulary. Then go back and try level 2 again. You will be amazed at how much more you understand. If level 2 is too easy, that's great. Challenge yourself and immediately read the same story at level 3. This method is powerful because it removes the frustration from reading. You are guaranteed to understand the text because you can always move between the levels. You are learning new vocabulary in context, seeing how the same idea can be expressed in simple and then more complex ways. It's a perfect natural way to improve your reading skills without ever feeling overwhelmed. So, we have a habit for listening, speaking, remembering, and reading. We have covered input and comprehension. But what about creative output? This brings us to our final and 5th habit, a simple technique to transform your writing skills. And that brings us to our final and 5th habit, a simple technique to build your confidence in creative output. The idea of writing in English can be scary for many learners. They feel like they have to write a long, perfect essay. This habit removes all of that pressure. It is simple, fast, and incredibly effective. I call it the one-sentence journal. The task is exactly what it sounds like. Every day, perhaps before you go to sleep, your habit is to write one single sentence in English about your day. That's it. Just one. It could be something you did, something you felt, or something you thought. For example, your sentence could be, "Today was a very productive day at work." Or, "I tried a new restaurant for lunch and the food was superb." Or even, "I feel a little tired because I didn't sleep well last night." Why is this so powerful? Because it's so easy that you have no excuse not to do it. It builds the discipline of daily writing, and it forces you to actively use the vocabulary and grammar related to your own life, which is the most useful vocabulary you can practice. And there you have it, your complete 5-habit system for daily English fluency. Let's put it all together. Habit 1 is the 10-minute focused input. Habit 2 is the 5-minute narration. Habit 3 is the 5-minute memory workout. Habit 4 is the 5-minute smart reading. And Habit 5 is the 1-minute, one-sentence journal. Entire routine takes about 30 minutes a day, and it covers every core skill: listening, speaking, vocabulary, reading, and writing. This is the power of smart, consistent habits. For your challenge, tell me in the comments, which of these 5 habits are you most excited to start? If this lesson gave you a clear plan, a simple like is always appreciated, and please subscribe for more practical guides. Thank you for building your new routine with me. I am Liam, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Keep practicing.